Zara stood out among her people. Her purple skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that changed with her emotions. Her forearms moved with graceful precision, and her large golden eyes could see spectrums of light humans could only dream about. As the daughter of the Vexalian ambassador, she was considered royalty among her kind. Everyone wanted Zara. The most powerful warriors of 17 systems had requested her hand. Noble sons from the wealthiest planets sent precious gifts. Genius. Scientists offered technological wonders beyond imagination, all for a chance to court her, yet none of them interested her. The Vexalians had only recently joined the Galactic Alliance. Earth was the newest member planet, a small blue world with curious beings called humans. Zara found them fascinating. Their resilience, their creativity, their passion for life, despite their fragile bodies and short lifespans. When the diplomatic mission arrived on Earth, Zara met Lily. Lily was assigned as her human guide, a simple woman with brown hair and eyes that reminded Zara of rich soil after rain. Nothing special by human standards. But something about her drew Zara in. Lily showed Zara around the human city, pointing out buildings and explaining customs. She spoke of human food, music, and art with such enthusiasm that Zara found herself wanting to experience it all through Lily's eyes. What is this feeling? Zara wondered as she watched Lily laugh at something silly. It was warm and frightening and wonderful all at once. Days passed and Zara found excuses to spend more time with Lily. They walked through parks, ate at small cafes, and watched the sunset from rooftops. Zara learned that Lily was a botanist who loved plants and could talk for hours about how different species adapted to survive. One evening, as they sat watching stars appear in the sky, Zara noticed how the moonlight touched Lily's face. Her heart beat faster than normal and her skin glowed with patterns she had never displayed. "Before you are beautiful when you glow like that," Lily said softly. Zara felt her inner eyelids flutter with embarrassment. Vexalians only showed certain patterns to those they truly cared for. Had she revealed too much? Lily reached out hesitantly and touched one of Zara's lower hands. The touch sent electricity through Zara's body. Back on her ship that night, Zara could not sleep. Her communication device blinked with messages from suitors across the galaxy. A war hero from Xanthus 7, a prince from the diamond moons of Taurus, a scientist who had solved the mystery of dark matter, all wanting her attention, all offering wealth, power, status. But Zara could only think of Lily's smile, the way her eyes crinkled at the corners, the gentle touch of her hand. The next day, Zara's father called her to his chambers. "Daughter, I have received an offer from the Supreme Commander of the Draconian Fleet. He wishes to make you his mate. It would bring great honor to our family and strengthen our position in the Alliance." Zara felt her skin patterns dim. "I cannot accept, father." Her father's patterns flashed with anger. "You must think of your duty to our people." Zara stood tall. "I have found someone else." When she told her father about Lily, his patterns turned dark with disbelief. A human. A simple human with no status, no power, no wealth. What could she possibly offer you? "Everything," Zara whispered. "Everything that matters." That night, Zara slipped away from the diplomatic compound and found her way to Lily's small apartment. She knocked on the door, her heart racing. Lily opened the door, surprise written across her face. "Zara, what are you doing here? I had to see you," Zara said, her skin glowing with patterns that spoke of longing and hope, patterns that no human could read. Yet somehow Lily seemed to understand. "Come in," Lily said softly, taking Zara's hand, inside the small apartment filled with plants from around Earth. Zara told Lily everything about the offers from across the galaxy, about her father's disapproval, about how none of it mattered because all she wanted was to be with Lily. "But why me?" Lily asked. "I have nothing to offer someone like you. No riches, no power, nothing special. You have everything," Zara said, her voice thick with emotion. "You see the beauty in simple things. You care about life in all its forms. You make me feel like I belong somewhere for the first time. You make me feel like more than just a prize to be won. Lily's eyes filled with tears I thought you would never notice. Me with all those important aliens wanting you, why would you ever look at someone like me? Zara reached out with all four hands surrounding Lily, with her touch because they want what I represent. You want me for who I am. When their lips met, Zara felt like supernovas were exploding inside her. Her skin glowed so brightly it lit up the entire room with patterns of love and belonging. Word spread quickly through the diplomatic channels about the Vexalian princess and her human lover. Many were shocked. Some were disgusted. Others were curious, but Zara did not care what they thought. She had found something precious, something real. The supreme commander of the Draconian fleet, however, was not pleased. His pride was wounded and his anger grew. Each day the Draconians were known for their tempers and their long memories. They were also known for their advanced weapons and powerful warships. Zara knew there would be consequences for her choice, but she did not know how severe they would be or how soon they would come. The Draconian Supreme Commander Vorax sent a message to the Vexalian ambassador demanding an explanation. His hologram flickered with rage as he spoke. You promised your daughter to me, Ambassador Thelax. Now I hear she has chosen a human, a weak, pathetic human. This is an insult to me and all Draconians. Ambassador Thelax tried to calm the situation. My daughter is young and confused. Commander Vorax, give me time to make her see reason. You have 3 Earth days, Ambassador. Then I will take matters into my own hands. The transmission ended and Ambassador Thelax felt fear grip his hearts. Vorax was not known for his patience or his mercy. If Zara did not agree to the arrangement, war could break out between their species, and humans would be caught in the middle. Thelax went to find his daughter Zara. You must reconsider this human infatuation. The Draconians are threatening action if you do not accept Vorax's offer. Zara stood firm, her skin patterns showing determination. I will not be traded like a rare gem, father. I have made my choice. What about the consequences? Thelax asked, his patterns flashing with worry. The Draconians could declare war. They could target Earth. They could harm your human. Zara had not considered this. Her patterns dimmed with fear. She did not want to be responsible for bringing destruction to Lily's world or putting Lily in danger. I need time to think. Father, Lily noticed the change in Zara the next day. Her normally bright patterns were dull and her forearms hung limply at her sides. What's wrong? Lily asked, touching Zara's face gently. Zara explained about the Draconian threat and her father's concerns. I cannot bear the thought of bringing war to your world, Lily, or putting you in danger. Lily thought for a moment, then she smiled. That's what they want you to think, that humans are weak and need protection, but we're stronger than we look. We've survived worse things than angry lizard men from space. Zara couldn't help but laugh at Lily's description of the fearsome Draconians. You don't understand how powerful they are, then help me understand. Lily said, and let me help you too. We can face this together. They spent the day discussing options, seeking advice from human diplomats and Vexalian elders. One elder named Melora had lived through 3 interspecies conflicts. She spoke to them in private. The Draconians value strength above all else. She told them, they respect those who stand firm, but they also respect those who outsmart them. You must find a way to show strength without starting a war. Lily had an idea. What if we invited Vorax to Earth to meet me, to see what Zara sees in humans? The idea was risky, but it might work. If they could show Vorax the value of humans, perhaps he would back down. Ambassador Thelax sent the invitation. The Supreme Commander accepted, though his message dripped with disdain. He would arrive the next day. Lily spent the night researching Draconian customs and history. She learned that they valued physical prowess but also intellectual challenges. They had a weakness for puzzles and games of strategy. Zara watched in amazement as Lily prepared. I don't understand why you're not afraid, she said. I am afraid, Lily admitted. But fear doesn't help solve problems. It just stops you from thinking clearly. The day of Vorax's arrival came. He landed in a massive warship that darkened the sky over the city. His guards were twice the size of human men, armored and armed with plasma weapons. Vorax himself stood 3 meters tall with scales that shifted from red to black depending on his mood. His eyes were yellow slits and his teeth were like daggers. So Vorax growled, looking down at Lily. "This is the human who thinks she is worthy of a Vexalian. Princess." "I never said I was worthy," Lily replied calmly. "I only said I love her." Vorax laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. "Love. A human concept with no value. If it has no value, why do you want Zara?" Lily asked. "Is it not because you desire her?" Vorax's scales darkened. "I want her because she is a prize, the most sought-after female in 17 systems. Having her as my mate would bring honor to my bloodline. Then you don't want her for who she is." Lily said, "You want her for what she represents. That's not love. That's possession." Vorax's tail lashed angrily. "What would a human know of such matters? Your species is barely out of the stone." "Age," Lily smiled. "I know enough to challenge you." "Supreme Commander." The crowd that had gathered gasped. Humans did not challenge Draconians, not if they wanted to live. "What challenge could you possibly offer me?" Human Vorax sneered. "A test of minds," Lily said. "A game from Earth called chess. It requires strategy, planning, foresight, all qualities. A Supreme Commander should excel at." Vorax's interest was piqued. The Draconians did love challenges. "What are the terms?" he asked. "If I win, Zara is free to choose her own mate without threats or consequences." Lily said, "If you win, I will step aside and never see her again." "What would stop me from simply taking what I want by force?" Vorax asked. "Because that would prove you are weak," Lily said. "That you fear losing to a human." The crowd fell silent. Vorax's scales rippled with rage but also with calculation. No one had ever dared speak to him this way. It was either very brave or very foolish. "I accept your challenge," Human Vorax finally said. "Let all present witness." The chess match was set for the following day in the central plaza of the city. News spread quickly throughout Earth and across the galaxy. A simple human challenging the Supreme Commander of the Draconian fleet to a game of strategy, with a Vexalian princess as the prize. It was unprecedented. That night, Lily practiced chess with a computer program. She was good at the game, but not a master. She had challenged Vorax on impulse driven by love for Zara and a desire to protect her world. Now doubt crept in. What if she lost? What if her plan failed? Zara found Lily staring at a chessboard, her face tight with concentration. "Why did you challenge him?" she asked. "He has military strategists who plan his battles. He has conquered 3 solar systems." Lily moved a pawn absently. Sometimes the best strategy isn't winning the game, it's changing. Zara didn't understand, but she trusted Lily. There was something about humans that other species underestimated. Their ability to adapt, to think differently, to see solutions where others saw only problems. The day of the match arrived. The plaza was filled with thousands of spectators, humans, Vexalians, and representatives from dozens of other species. Vorax arrived in full battle armor, his massive form casting shadows as he approached the table where the chessboard waited. Lily wore simple clothes, a plain shirt and pants. She looked tiny next to the Draconian commander, but she showed no fear. Ambassador Thelax served as referee, explaining the rules to Vorax and the audience. The pieces were specially made larger than normal to accommodate Vorax's clawed hands. Black for Vorax, white for Lily. The game began. Vorax moved his pieces with surprising grace for one so large. His strategy was aggressive, attacking without hesitation, sacrificing pieces to gain position. Lily played defensively, careful, thoughtful. Her moves seemed random at times, puzzling Vorax and the observers. An hour passed. Then 2. The crowd watched in silence as the game progressed. Vorax grew more confident as he took more of Lily's pieces. His scales glowed red with anticipated victory. Then something strange happened. Lily began to talk as she played. She told stories about Earth, about human history, about how chess reflected Human thinking, chess is like life, she said, moving her knight. It's not always about winning. Sometimes it's about how you play. Sometimes it's about what you learn. Vorax ignored her words, focusing on the board. She spoke of human wars and human peace, of failure and resilience, of love and sacrifice. Did you know humans used to think we were alone in the universe? She said, that we were the only intelligent life. Many were afraid when we learned otherwise, afraid of being conquered by superior beings, with superior technology. Vorax snorted derisively as he took her bishop. Your fears were justified. Were they? Lily asked, moving her queen. Perhaps, or perhaps we had something to offer, something you cannot take by force. What could that possibly be? Vorax asked perspective, she said. Simply that our viewpoint as the physically weaker species gives us strength in other ways. We look for solutions beyond force. We seek understanding. We adapt. We evolve. As she spoke, she moved her remaining pieces in strange patterns. Vorax was winning by any conventional measure, but something about her playstyle confused him. The game wasn't progressing as he expected. Your species is primitive, he said, taking her rook. Your technology is basic. Your bodies are fragile. You live such short lives. What could you possibly teach species like mine or the Vexalians? That very fragility is our strength, Lily replied. Our short lives mean we value every moment. Our limited technology means we appreciate what we have. Our physical weakness means we seek strength in community and cooperation in love. Vorax's scales darkened with irritation. Enough talk. Focus on the game. Human. You are losing, Lily asked and moved her pawn to the final row. Queen, she said. Vorax stared at the board. His advantage was still clear, but something felt wrong. The pieces didn't align as he had planned. Lily's strategy wasn't about winning in the traditional sense. She had placed her pieces in a pattern. What is this deception? He growled. The goal is to checkmate the king, is it? Lily asked. Or is the goal to show you something you haven't seen before? She moved her newly promoted queen. Checkmate, Vorax roared in disbelief. That's impossible. He examined the board from every angle, but it was true, his king was trapped. Her scattered pieces had formed a net he hadn't seen until it was too late. She had used his focus on taking her pieces against him. She had sacrificed material to build a trap, and he had fallen into it. The crowd erupted. In cheers and gasps, Vorax's scales shifted from red to black with rage. Then slowly, surprisingly, they settled into a deep blue, a color rarely seen in draconians. You played well, human, he said, his voice low. I have not been defeated in strategy for 300 years. Thank you, Commander, Lily said. But I didn't challenge you to defeat you. I challenged you to show you why Zara might choose a human. Why our species might have value, despite our apparent weaknesses. Vorax considered her words. We, Draconians, respect strength, but there are many kinds of strength, are there not? Exactly, Lily said. Sometimes the strongest approach is to appear. Weak Vorax stood to his full height, towering over Lily. I will honor our agreement. The Vexalian princess is free to choose her mate without interference from the Draconian fleet. The crowd cheered again. Zara rushed forward, her skin glowing with joy and relief. She embraced Lily with all four arms. I knew you could do it, she whispered. But Vorax wasn't finished. He raised a clawed hand for silence. I would also like to extend an invitation to Lily Morrison of Earth to visit the Draconian homeworld and teach our strategists this game of chess. Perhaps there is more we can learn from humans than I believed. Lily bowed respectfully. I would be honored, Commander. As Vorax departed with his guards, Zara looked at Lily with wonder. I don't understand. How did you know he would respect your victory? I didn't. Lily admitted. I hoped he would, but I was prepared if he didn't. What was your backup plan? Lily smiled. There's always a bigger predator. The Galactic Council was watching this match live. The Draconians may be powerful, but even they won't go against the entire council, Zara laughed. You took a terrible risk, Lily nodded. Sometimes the things most worth having require the greatest risks. The days following the chess match were filled with celebrations. Lily became something of a celebrity on Earth. The human who outsmarted a Draconian supreme commander. The woman who won the heart of an alien princess. News outlets wanted interviews. Scientists wanted to study her thought processes. Politicians wanted her as an advisor, but Lily wanted none of it. She continued her work as a botanist, spending her days with plants and her evenings with Zara. Their relationship blossomed despite the cultural differences, despite the stares and whispers, despite the challenges of interspecies. Love Ambassador Thelax watched his daughter's happiness with mixed feelings. He was proud of her courage, her willingness to follow her heart. But he, worried about the future. Vexalians lived for centuries. Humans barely reached 100 years. What would happen when Lily grew old and died? Would Zara's heart break? Would she regret her choice? He decided to speak with Lily alone, inviting her to the Vexalian embassy for tea, a human custom he had come to enjoy. You have won my daughter's heart. Thelax said, his pattern showing respect and concern. And you have earned my respect with your courage and cleverness. But there are practical matters we must discuss. Lily sipped her tea, waiting for him to continue. Our species are very different, he said. Vexalians live for 500 to 600 of your Earth years. We reach maturity at 100. Zara is only 120 years old, barely an adult by our standards. She has centuries ahead of her, while you... I know, Lily said softly. I will grow old and die long before she reaches middle age. Thelax's patterns shifted to show approval of her directness. Most humans avoid talking about death. It's part of being human, Lily explained. We know our time is limited, so we try to make the most of it. Have you discussed this with Zara? Not yet. Lily admitted. I'm not sure how. Perhaps that is why humans and Vexalians are drawn to each other. Thelax mused. We have much to learn from each other's perspective. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent message. A Vexalian elder named Corva had arrived unannounced from the homeworld. She demanded to see Thelax, Zara, and the human immediately. Corva was ancient even by Vexalian standards. Her skin patterns were faded with age but still showed her high status. As the head of the Genetic Council, her word was law in matters of Vexalian reproduction and pairing. She did not waste time on pleasantries. This unnatural pairing must end, she declared. The princess must choose a suitable mate, one who can continue our bloodline, one who can strengthen our species. Ambassador. Thelax's patterns showed deference, but also determination. Elder Corva, with respect. The Galactic Alliance Charter guarantees freedom of personal choice in matters of the heart. Corva dismissed this with a wave of her upper hands. The Alliance is young. Our traditions are ancient. The royal bloodline must be preserved. Lily spoke up. Elder Corva, I understand your concerns. The continuation of your species is important, but so is Zara's happiness. The elder turned all four eyes to Lily. What would a human know of our ways? You live such brief lives. You cannot understand the importance of bloodlines that span millennia. Lily stood her ground, respectful but firm. I may not understand everything about Vexalian culture, but I understand love. And I understand that forcing someone to be with someone they don't love for the sake of tradition doesn't help anyone. Not Zara. Not your species. Not the person she would be forced to be with. Corva's pattern showed surprise, then outrage at being challenged by a human. No one had dared speak to her this way in centuries. Zara arrived sensing the tension. Her patterns showed alarm when she saw Elder Corva. The elder turned to her Princess Zara. You have a duty to your people. Your genetic material is too valuable to waste on this unsuitable pairing. Zara's patterns flashed with anger. I'm not merely a collection of genes, Elder Corva. I am a person with the right to choose my own path, but your children. Corva insisted. Think of the children you could have with a proper Vexalian mate. Strong children with pure bloodlines, children who would strengthen our species. Zara hesitated for the first time. Her desire for children was strong. It was part of Vexalian nature to want to continue the bloodline. She looked at Lily with pain in her golden eyes. Lily saw the conflict in her lover's face. The pain, the doubt, she made a decision. What if there was a way, Lily said slowly, for Zara to have children? Children of her bloodline, but still allow us to be together. All three. Vexalians turned to her. I am a botanist, she explained. Study how plants reproduce and grow. Sometimes different species can create hybrid offspring. Sometimes they need a little help from science. Corva's patterns showed skepticism. What are you suggesting? Human genetic engineering. Lily said, we could use Zara's genetic material combined with a donor from a suitable Vexalian male. The child would be fully Vexalian, carrying on the bloodline, but Zara and I could raise the child together. Thelax's patterns brightened. This is not without precedent, Elder. Corva. The royal family has used genetic engineering before to ensure certain traits. Corva considered this. Her patterns shifted through various emotions as she thought. Finally, she spoke. It is not ideal, but it would preserve the bloodline and it would satisfy the letter of our laws. She turned to Lily. I underestimated you, human. Your solution is both practical and compassionate. Perhaps there is wisdom in your species after all. After Corva left, Zara embraced Lily, her patterns glowing with joy and relief. Would you really want to raise children with me? She asked. Lily smiled. Of course I would. They would be a part of you. How could I not love them? But they wouldn't be biologically yours. Zara said. They wouldn't share your DNA. Lily laughed softly. Biology isn't what makes a family. Love is. Family is who you choose to share your life with. Zara's pattern shifted to a deep purple, the Vexalian color of love. Your life is so short compared to mine, but in that short time you've taught me more about what matters than I learned in a century. Together they watched the sunset over the city, two beings from different worlds, different biologies, different lifespans. But in that moment, none of those differences mattered. They had found each other in the vast universe, and that was enough. 2 years passed. Earth years that seemed both long and short to Zara. Lily continued her work as a botanist, her research now focused on comparing Earth plants with specimens from other worlds. She had become respected in both human and alien scientific communities. Her paper on adaptive photosynthesis in low-light environments had won awards from 3 planets. Zara divided her time between diplomatic duties and helping Lily with her research. They had moved into a small house on the outskirts of the city, with a large greenhouse and a garden that bloomed with plants from a dozen worlds. It was a peaceful life, a happy life. But both knew changes were coming. The genetic process Lily had suggested was approved by the Vexalian Genetic Council. A suitable donor was found, a distant cousin of Zara's with a strong genetic lineage. The embryo was created and was growing in a special chamber that mimicked Vexalian womb conditions. In 6 months, they would have a daughter. But there was another matter they needed to address, one they had been avoiding. The matter of time. Lily would age and die long before Zara reached middle age. They needed to decide what that would mean for them. Lily found Zara in the garden one evening, staring at the stars. Her purple skin glowing softly in patterns that showed deep thought. What are you thinking about? Lily asked, sitting beside her. Zara turned all 4 eyes to Lily. The future, our future. I received a message from the Vexalian Medical Council today. They have been studying human and Vexalian biology. Lily took her hand. What did they say? They believe they may have found a way to extend your life. Not to make you immortal, not to make you live as long as a Vexalian, but perhaps to double or triple your lifespan. Lily's eyes widened. How a combination of gene therapy and nanobots. They would alter your telomeres, the end caps of your DNA that control aging. They would repair cellular damage as it occurs. They would strengthen your immune system. It's experimental, but the theory is sound. And the cost? Lily asked. Zara's patterns dimmed. You would need to spend 6 months on the Vexalian homeworld for the treatments, and there would be side effects. Your body would change. You would still look human, but not entirely. You might develop some Vexalian characteristics, slight changes to your skin pigmentation, perhaps sensitivity to different light spectrums, and there is risk. Any experimental procedure carries risk. Lily was quiet for a long time, thinking, I always assumed I would live a normal human lifespan. 80 to 90 years if I'm lucky. I never considered the possibility of more time. Would you want more time? Zara asked, her patterns showing vulnerability. Lily smiled. With you, always. But you would be changed, Zara said. Not quite human anymore. Lily laughed softly. I think I stopped being quite human the day I fell in love with you. And that's okay. Evolution, adaptation, change. These are the ways life continues. They made plans. Lily would take a sabbatical from her research. The journey to the Vexalian homeworld would take 2 months. They would bring their daughter with them. She would be born by then. The day before their departure, a visitor arrived at their home. An elderly, human woman leaning on a cane. Her face was lined with age, but her eyes were bright and alert. May I help you? Lily asked, not recognizing the woman. The woman smiled. My name is Kate. I heard about you and Zara, and about your plans to extend your life. I wanted to meet you before you left. Zara joined them, her patterns showing curiosity. Who is this Lily? Kate told her story. She had been part of the first contact team when the Vexalians arrived on Earth 50 years ago. She had fallen in love with a Vexalian scientist. They had spent 10 wonderful years together, but he returned to his homeworld, Kate said. And I stayed on Earth. We knew it could not last. He would live for centuries. I would grow old and die. We accepted that. Why did you come to see us? Lily asked. Kate smiled. To give you my blessing and to show you something. She pulled a small device from her pocket and pressed a button. A hologram appeared. A message from her Vexalian lover, recorded before his death. Kate, my beloved, he said. In the recording, I have lived 300 years. I have seen wonders across the galaxy. I have made discoveries that will be remembered for generations. But the 10 years I spent with you were the most precious of all. They taught me that time is not measured in years, but in moments, in connections, in love. Had I lived only those 10 years with you, it would have been enough. Tears streamed down Kate's face as the message ended. You see, she said, even without extending your life, even with the differences in your lifespans, your love matters. It changes both of you. It ripples out into the universe. She took Lily's hand and one of Zara's. I never had the chance for the treatments you're considering. They weren't developed then. But I want you to know whether you have 20 years together or 200, the love you share is valuable. It matters. As Kate left, Lily and Zara held each other close, both moved by her story. Whatever happens, Zara whispered, whatever changes come, we face them together. The next day they boarded the Vexalian ship that would take them to Zara's homeworld. Their daughter's genetic chamber was carefully loaded on board, secured in a special compartment. Lily took one last look at Earth, the blue planet that had been her only home. She felt a moment of fear, of uncertainty. But then Zara took her hand, all 4 of her hands actually surrounding Lily with her touch, and the fear melted away. The ship lifted off, rising through the atmosphere and into the star-filled darkness of space. Lily looked out at the vastness, feeling so small yet so significant. She was just one human, loving one Vexalian. Yet somehow that love had changed things. It had changed perceptions. It had created bridges between species. It had opened doors for others to follow. As Earth became a small blue dot behind them, Lily thought about the journey ahead, the changes to her body, the new world she would see, the daughter they would raise together, the centuries they might share, and she smiled. Everyone had wanted Zara. The most powerful beings in 17 systems had sought her hand, but she had chosen a simple human botanist. She had chosen love over status, connection over power, understanding over tradition. And in doing So she had changed the course of two worlds. The stars stretched before them like possibilities endless and bright. Lily and Zara faced them together hand in hand, ready for whatever came next.